So let's talk about a few things that are a little bit more advanced, but how to basically protect yourself as you surf online. So the first thing you want to do is you obviously want to make sure that if you are entering sensitive data into a forum or anything like that, you want to make sure that the site is reputable. And the way you know if a site is reputable is simply by going to Google and doing research on that specific site. Now, if the site is not reputable, then sometimes you'll notice that, especially if you use something like Avast or your antivirus software, it'll actually tell you if the site has viruses on it and things like that. If you're using Google Chrome, Google will actually let you know as well. Now, if you are entering sensitive data, you want to make sure that at the very top you have the HTTPS over here. Now, obviously with the Heartbleed bug, that definitely showed us that even if it's HTTPS, there are ways around it. Now, lots and lots of companies are looking into the Heartbleed bug and trying to develop a system where this does not happen again. This was probably one of the biggest things in history that has ever happened. Now, apart from this, and moving on to some a little more advanced things, there are things called VPNs. And the way VPNs work is you'll log into a VPN and it will basically encrypt and secure your privacy. And VPNs are great, especially if you are surfing on a Wi-Fi channel, especially a free Wi-Fi channel, because a lot of times people don't realize this, but if you're at Starbucks, somebody else is surfing on Starbucks. Now, most likely Starbucks has protection for their Wi-Fi network. But if you happen to join a Wi-Fi network that you have no idea about security-wise, there could be a hacker on the other end on that same network logging into your system and getting to your information. So that's stuff that most people don't realize that is happening. And the way you can fight that and combat that is by joining a site like this that has a VPN service. Now, apart from that, there are other benefits to VPNs. As you can see here, VPNs prevent your ISP, which is your internet service provider, from monitoring and controlling your online communications and browsing activity. So you basically, the way it works is you log into the VPN and it logs into the server of these sites so that sites like your internet service provider and companies like that really cannot monitor what you are doing. Because, to be honest, everything you do is monitored. And of course, in general, you protect your IP address, which is the computer IP, the number that is associated with your computer. In fact, every time you visit a site, people know your IP address. In other words, they know exactly where you're located, because every computer is connected to an IP address. So you can imagine Big Brother could easily spy on you without you knowing. Or anybody else could easily find your IP address and find a lot of information about you. They can find other information like the browser you're using, the IP address, where you're located, and things like that. So that's the beauty of using a VPN service. And there are many different VPN services. There's one that's goldenfrog.com. They run the VYPR VPN. Another good one is recommended by PC Editor's Choice and privateinternetaccess.com as well. Now, unfortunately, with VPNs and the good VPNs, you do have to pay some money up front, but a lot of them can be fairly cheap, anywhere from $6 to $10 a month. And there are other services called HMA. If you go to hidemyhouse.com, and you'll notice that we have VPNs here. You can change your proxy, which is your IP address, and to be something totally different. And you have anonymous email, which is free. You have other privacy softwares as well, as you can see here. So this is another software that is very, very useful. And that's it.